First, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Elliot Page. He also goes by alien pronouns, but since he's in the bio, this gentleman, formerly known as Ellen Page, now known as Elliot Page, has put in their preferences as also being he, him. They, them is there. I acknowledge that. I'm just putting he, him as just pronouns that I will usually go for if they're available to me. Unless, they don't like that at all. If they were she, he is not. He's a he, him. I'll start. So. Oh yeah, there are a few things. You see, I knew this. The minute I saw this after Benny Shapiro had his little wine fest on Harry Styles, I'll get to that in a minute. But Ben, you're 5'2". You look like a damn midget. You look like the bad version of the Dick Sargent clone, like the screwed up toy version, like the cheap ass Mexico toy that was sent out. Not that I'm saying anything about it on Toys R Us, I'm just saying you look like a cheap ass version of shit. Poorly made. And yet somehow, you sit here like you know anything. Here's the thing. He has the right to call himself whatever he is, and that's what he is. And I don't care that you, who think you're the bastion of science, what degrees in science do you have again? Oh, right, none. You see, I have a little science award. You have a mouth that doesn't tell me anything except bullshit. I am jealous of one thing. Your voice is so fucking high, I have trouble trying to reach high octaves to sound feminine, but you automatically sound feminine with your little voice. Boy. Since we're supposed to call what we see, I call you little boy. Because you're a little boy. You have the brain of a little boy. You have the knowledge of a little boy. You look like a little boy. And you speak like a little boy. You sound like Johnny Carson had his... was like on helium or some shit. Or if you took a 45 Johnny Carson record and you played it at 33. At any rate, for older people to understand, you won't, because you're a dumbass child. But he has the right to that. You are not God. I know you think you are, but you're not. Quit trying to quote the Bible because you suck at it. And now you're trying to use science. Well, actually, many scientists, not the ones you looked at, because you just looked at the ones that said what you wanted to hear, disagree with you. Oh noes. So you can get your little 1952 science book and shove it up your butt. Because you may notice science is, oddly enough, not an exact science. To what passed in 1952 when you looked it up isn't probably current. Sorry to break it to you, hon. Because here's the thing, since you want to quote science, as I've said this many fucking times from many different places I checked, the human brain, even the most masculine male will say Schwarzenegger, because that's the best thing I think of. 75% man brain in him, 25% female brain, so that's still not 100%. So the they them does fit better for what they're saying. You say it doesn't exist. They have people called, what is it called? Intersex. Those who are born neither sex. You see, it's a phenomenon. I know you want to comfortably say, oh, well, there's not a lot of them. Well, there's not a lot of people who are albino, but they still count. So that still counts too. And I didn't, if you're albino, please don't add me. I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying. This exists. You can't discount something based on the amount. It's there. It's part of science. As is the brain thing. And the most feminine woman in the world. I don't fucking know. Kate Middleton. Yeah, I know I use the same damn examples all the time. Again, 75% female, 25% male. And you don't know what Ellen's brain was. Because you are not a scientist. You do not have any degrees in science. You don't even have anything in biology. You just have a mouth and no brains. And a platform to use it, sadly. And you barely make sense any time at all. Once in a while, maybe, but at this point, you're an idiot. And in Hollywood, in this case, is not just pulling things out, making things difficult, destroying the family dynamic and blah, blah, blah. Shut up, your broken fucking record. You have no proof. Isn't it what you said? You need proof. You have nothing. Here's a thing that's proven. New York has had trans bathrooms open. Your own LA has had it open. Has there been a rise in crimes of trans people hurting cis people or doing anything to them? No. How about that? What has increased, till recently, has been attacks on trans people by cis people, probably some of your little audience, because you seem to follow that type of asshole behavior. I'm saying you've gotten into it, but it seems to be the type that would listen to your shit. Just saying. And doctors, actual people with medical degrees, do these, changes, the transgender change. And you probably say, well, that's just recently, except it goes all the way back to World War II. They just couldn't do it in the U.S., so yeah. They didn't call it transgender back then, but there's an ex-soldier after World War II who got a sex change. Glenn Glendale, and there was a comic called Miss Fury that had a male version of that. So they had to have heard that somewhere, i.e. someone who was born female that became male. Main character in her story. The lady was writing Miss Fury. Interesting, huh? The other thing, the one who was born male and became female, she was a real person. The basis for the reason that they made the whole Glenn Glendale movie. Anyway, which was way off topic, but didn't even go near it. But anyway, that's not important. So it has this. So I don't care that you don't like it. And as for scientific backing, there are no psychologists that are okay with it and go with it. And when I get to the thing of the 60s, that was once believed to be something different. And you go back to the 40s for other people that science said didn't exist, and they turned around and figured out did. Hate to break it to you, sunshine. Science isn't exact science. So unless the next time you get hurt, you want blood leeches to, they do bloodlettings for you, maybe think about that. Okay? Again, congratulations to Mr. Elliot Page on transitioning. Welcome to the club. Of course, you're probably going to get far along than I am. And as for their character, what was the other bitch and moan fest that Mr. BS, Ben Shapiro, those are his initials, BS, for a reason. What is saying? Oh, they're still in a row. Okay, well, the thing is, I thought Scroller should have had the chance to play the trans man, or should have played me or something. That'd be cool too. But so I have no problem with that. And A Blur Little Economy is a unique comic, so at some point they will have to change it anyway. The movie, because if Mr. Page starts taking pills, his voice will change. It doesn't work as well for one who takes the E, but it's E if you start taking T. Well, I mean, it varies from person to person, but for most results, it's whoa, quick.